Buongiorno, Signora Maschera. Hello, Mrs. Mask. This is how people addressed each other during the golden era of Carnivale, and still today. The reason being is that you can't recognize the other person nor their gender, so everyone just calls you Mrs. Mask. Every year, 3 million people flock to the Laguna to admire and take part in the Venice Carnival, an iconic event whose origins are centuries old. There's nowhere else in the world where you can soak up a truly unique scenery consisting of extravagant masks and costumes parading in the squares and calli, a typical narrow Venetian street. The wearing of masks is an ancient tradition that gives Venice Carnival a characteristic and lively atmosphere. Being in Venice for Carnival or Carnivale is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that can't be missed. But what exactly is Carnival? In this video, we'll learn exactly what it is and everything you need to know about the Carnevale di Venezia, Carnival of Venice, from its origins, history and development to its modern-day version, from traditional food and masks to the dates where the main events take place around the city. And to exercise your Italian skills, we'll finish up with some essential vocabulary. Pronti? Ready? Cominciamo! Let's get started! Ciao ciao, mi chiamo Michelle, sono la Intrepid Guide, la vostra guida per imparare l'italiano, per viaggiare o per entrare in contatto con le vostre origini italiane come me, attraverso il mio metodo originale 80-20. Hi, my name is Michelle, I'm the Intrepid Guide, your guide to learning Italian for travel or to connect with your Italian heritage just like I did, all by using my unique 80-20 method. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click on the bell notification so you get an alert when I post more videos like this one. Are you learning Italian? Make sure you download my free guide, 7 mistakes in Italian and how to avoid them. Just click on the link in the description below this video and I'll send you your free guide. So what exactly is Carnival? The term derives from the Latin carnem levare, literally to eliminate meat, or carne vale, farewell to meat, both referring to the farewell to meat and all bodily pleasures, which is celebrated with a great banquet on Shrove Tuesday, the day before Lent, a period of abstinence and fasting. Incidentally, this is also how we get the verb to incarnate. In Italian, it's incarnare, literally to embody the spirit of another. When we escape our reality and slip on a mask and costume, we are actually incarnating another person. Its etymology points to a Christian origin of this holiday period. It refers to the annual Christian feast that involves a public celebration of some kind, typically with parades, parties, and other forms of entertainment. Lent lasts for 40 days and ends at Easter. The carnival tradition has very ancient origins that go back to the Roman times. For instance, the Saturnali were a time of year when the joyous collective ritual was permitted and even encouraged, in which the rigid order between social classes was subverted. In ancient Greece, there was the Dionysian cults with great religious festivals, processions and theatrical performances involving the use of masks and symbolic representations. However, guess where the word carnival appears for the first time? Venice, of course. In a document by the Doge, which is a Venetian term for the head of state, who was called Vitale Falier, in 1094, the word carnival is used to refer to public entertainment. It's important to note that it wasn't until 1296 that the Carnival of Venice became an official public holiday, after an edict in the Senate of the Republic, declaring the day before Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent, a public holiday. The Dogi were adept to promoting carnival to give the population, particularly the lower classes, a period of fun and celebration. Its intention was to act as an outlet for the tensions and the ill feelings created by the strict rules imposed by the morality and public order of the Venetian Republic. Thanks to the wearing of masks, total anonymity was guaranteed. This created a sort of cancellation of social divisions and a way to hide differences between noble people and peasants. Carnival in Venice, with its dances, parties and public shows, reached its golden period in the 18th century, when the Serenissima Republic was considered the magna of Europe. It achieved maximum splendor thanks to its transgressive atmosphere, international recognition and commedia dell'arte, a form of theatre, and famous characters like Casanova and Goldoni, who was an Italian playwright. Unfortunately, the story of Carnival has a sad chapter. In 1797 came the French invasion and then later the Austrian occupation. Together they ultimately put an end to not only Venice's independence but also to Carnival. Celebrations were outlawed and the use of masks was strictly forbidden. It was until 1979 that this ancient tradition was restored so we can still experience it today. Nowadays, Venice Carnival is back to being that hedonistic, prestigious celebration that it was when the Republic of Venice was the centre of the world and one of Italy's biggest events. Venice Carnival runs for 2 weeks leading up to Ash Wednesday. During this time, a series of spectacular events such as masquerade balls, parties, parades, shows and historical reenactments take place in and around Venice. An enchanted atmosphere fills the streets and squares of Venice, and locals and visitors from all over the world dress up wearing elaborate costumes and masks. You can attend private parties, masquerade balls, or simply watch the performances and historical reenactments in public squares and along the canals and be transported back in time. There is a Venetian proverb that says, "Chi non le fa de Carnaval, le fa de Quaresima," meaning those who don't do crazy things during Carnival do them during Lent. And what is Carnival without enjoying the pleasure of culinary delights? Even in the early years of the Carnival, street vendors would sell all kinds of merchandise, often exotic too. From seasonal fruit to spices, the people of Venice could savour foods from distant countries where Venice had large trade routes, especially from the east. Store windows and family table dinners are filled with all sorts of carnival sweets. As per traditional recipes, frying was the main cooking method because it allowed for large quantities to be prepared quickly. Among these are the frittelle, galani, or also called chiacchiere, and castagnole. The frittella, a sort of fried pastry, is most certainly the undisputed queen of Carnival and has remained practically unchanged from its original recipe. The frittella veneziana, or Venetian style, contains raisins, pine nuts and sugar. However, many variations have appeared on the market, such as with cream and apple mousse. Since its inception, wearing masks has been an essential feature and played an important role in Venice Carnival. Wearing masks was a way to hide personal identity, gender, social class, and just become part of the great Carnival illusion in a place where anything can happen and where every glimpse never ceases to enchant. Wearing masks was not just limited to Carnival, but also worn on many other occasions during the year. For example, it was allowed on St. Stephen's Day, during the 15 days of the Ascension, and for other important events of the Serenissima Republic. During Carnival, Venetians would walk around the city wearing masks and greet each other with a simple "Buongiorno, signora maschera," just like I did at the start of this video. To meet demand, mask production became a flourishing trade that soon became the hallmark of the city itself. To create Carnival masks, the mascherari, or mask makers, used all sorts of materials, from papier-mâché, leather, porcelain to glass, and decorated them with gems, flowers and fur. The very first ones were rather simple in design, style and decoration, but over time they became more and more original, differentiating in many modern varieties and colours. Among the most popular Venice Carnival mask is the so-called bauta masks, which cover the entire face but leave some space below for eating, drinking and talking. The bauta was worn by both men and women and accompanied by a black veil or tabaro, or a black tricorn, and a white mask. It is thought the name bauta comes from the Italian word bau or bao, which is the Italian word for monster or boogeyman. This is almost certainly where the story of the mask being used to frighten children comes from. The Italians have a saying, "Se non stai bravo, vieni il babao e ti porta via," which translates to, if you're not good, the monster will come and take you away. Another Venetian mask is the moretta, an oval-shaped mask only worn by women. Made of dark velvet and worn with a veil, it is also called a mute mask, since it was held in place by the mouth thanks to a small button inside. The volto mask is a plain white mask that covers the entire face and is often worn with a black hooded cape. Other well-known masks and costumes are more colourful and festive and based on the characters of the Commedia dell'arte, first introduced by Carlo Goldoni in the 18th century, that speak of a past rich in inspiration and poetry. Among these are the greedy pantalone, or in English pantaloon, the elegant colombina, in English, which is columbine, and the colourful arlecchino, which we call harlequin in English. Last but not least, we have the infamous plague doctor. This unmistakable mask features a long beak, nose, glasses and a tunic made of either linen or waxed cloth, and a stick to lift the clothes of plague victims. The plague struck the city of Venice on several occasions, and the plague doctor mask was actually worn for practical necessity, as its long nose contained a kind of filter composed of salts and herbal disinfectants like rosemary, garlic, and juniper. Later on, this mask acquired a superstitious and exorcist meaning that repelled any contagious disease, and therefore it was kept in the ritual of Carnival. To really appreciate the craftsmanship, patience, and mastery required to make the perfect mask, I joined a mask making workshop with a master artisan to learn about the history of this ancient tradition. You can choose from a production class or a decoration class, or do both. In the production class, you learn how to make your own papier-mâché mask, or in the decoration class, you can paint and use materials to decorate your mask, like this one. No matter which option you choose, you get to take home your creation, just like I am. To join the same workshop I did where I made this mask, you can visit the link which I've shared below this video. Let's take a moment to explore the calendar of important events that take place every year in Venice for Carnival. Starting around the second week of February until very early March are some traditional Carnevale events. These include Festa Veneziana sull'Acqua, the Venetian Water Festival, which takes place in Rio di Cannaregio, which was historically the main shipping canal in Venice. To kick off Carnival, Festa Veneziana sull'Acqua transforms this canal into a fantastic water stage, putting on a spectacular show of extravagant floating structures and acrobats performing impossible routines. Located at the edge of Cannaregio, the most populated district in the city, this event is performed twice on the same day, once at 7 p.m. and then again at 9 p.m. Corteo e Festa delle Marie, Parade and Feast of the Marys. This traditional procession starts at San Piero di Castello at around 2:30 p.m. and continues along Via Garibaldi and Riva dei Schiavioni before arriving at a stage at St. Mark's Square at around 4 p.m, where the official presentation of Carnival takes place. This historic reenactment celebrates the Doge's custom of giving gifts such as clothes and jewelry every year to 12 beautiful girls of humble origins, so they could have a dowry when they got married. In 973, during one of these celebrations, Venice was attacked by pirates and the brides were kidnapped along with their jewelry. Miraculously, they were saved, and since then the city of Venice has made votive offerings to the Virgin Mary by officially establishing the Feast of the Marys. Later on, carved wooden statues called Marione replaced the actual girls, and the festival lost much of its original meaning. In the following years, the celebration slowly fell into disuse and was suppressed in 1379. It wasn't until 1999 that the modern celebrations of the Festa della Maria was re-established as a symbolic event. Volo dell'Angelo, Flight of the Angel. This takes place in St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco. Like many other traditions, the Volo dell'Angelo was re-established after a long period of absence. During a carnival in the mid-16th century, a young Turkish acrobat managed to reach the belfry of St. Mark's bell tower by walking on a very long rope. Aided only by a barbell, he began his ascent on a rope that was tied to a boat anchored at the nearby pier. The event, which was immediately called Svolo del Turco, Flight of the Turk, aroused so much interest that the Venetians asked for it to be repeated in the following editions of Carnival. In 1759, the performance ended in tragedy, where the acrobat plummeted to the ground amidst the horrified crowd. Due to the seriousness of this accident, the act of ascension by rope was banned. From then on, a large wooden dove, in Italian called colomba, was used in place of the acrobat. The dove released flowers and confetti onto the ground as it flew from the bell tower. The Volo dell'Angelo, Flight of the Angel, then became the Volo della Colombina, Flight of the Dove. The original event has only very recently been revived. The first modern edition dates back to 2001. At first, the role of the angel was entrusted to famous people in the field of sport or show business, but since 2011, the task has been assigned to the winner of the previous year's Maria competition. Il Volo dell'Aquila, the Flight of the Eagle. This again takes place in St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco. Il Volo dell'Aquila is one of the most recent traditions of the Carnival of Venice. The Flight of the Eagle was established in 2012, in addition to the popular Flight of the Angel. During this event, a similar aerobatic flight is performed by a prominent sports figure who soars above the festive crowds gathered in the square. Finale del concorso, la maschera più bella. This is the final of the most beautiful mask contest, which takes place in St. Mark's Square. This contest is judged by a panel of international costume and fashion designers. For the 2021 edition, the winning mask included the Medichessa della Peste, the plague female doctor, which best interpret the current period we are living in. During the whole Carnival period, every day the jury votes for the most beautiful mask, and the winners will go directly to the final. Concorso La Maschera Più Bella, edizioni per bambini, the most beautiful mask contest for children. Again, this takes place in St. Mark's Square. Similar to the adult version, this is a lovely event where children can actively participate in the festivities. Premiazione della Maria del Carnevale, the award ceremony of the Carnival Mary. Again, this takes place in St. Mark's Square. On the last day of Carnival celebrations, there is an award ceremony that crowns the winning Maria. This event takes place after a water parade that starts at San Giacomo dell'Orio and ends at the square's edge. The winning Maria will then return the following year to play the role of the Angelo in the Flight of the Angel ceremony. Svolo da Lion, Flight of the Lion. This takes place in St. Mark's Square. To bid Carnival farewell, a huge flag with St. Mark's winged lion is symbolically hoisted to the top of the Campanile, the bell tower. Accompanied by effects and music, this event pays homage to the city, its history and traditions, through its most representative symbol, the Lione, the Lion of St. Mark. This marks the official closing of the past 2 weeks of celebrations and excitement, with a promise to return the following year. Carnival vocabulary list. Now that you know all about Carnival's history, culinary delights, masks and events, let's brush up on some essential vocabulary.
La maschera,
Mask,
il costume,
costume,
travestirsi,
to dress up,
indossare,
to wear,
gli eventi,
events,
il ballo,
ball,
il ballo in maschera,
masquerade ball,
il corteo,
parade,
la festa,
party, feast,
il volo,
flight,
l'angelo,
angel,
i festeggiamenti,
celebrations,
le rievocazioni storiche,
historical reenactments,
la gara,
competition,
il concorso,
contest,
la premiazione,
award ceremony,
la Quaresima,
Lent,
il martedì grasso,
Shrove Tuesday,
il giovedì grasso,
Shrove Thursday,
il digiuno,
fasting,
il medico della peste.
plague doctor. To get the full Carnival experience, you can't pass up attending Il Gran Ballo Mascheranda in the 18th century Palazzo Pisani Moretta, a luxurious palace situated along the Grand Canal in Venice. This costume-only event guarantees a night of pure escapism. Set in a decadent hall, you'll enjoy an aperitif on arrival and a 3-course dinner and various theatrical performances and dancing until late. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event which is hosted by none other Casanova. If you want to celebrate Carnevale like the Venetians do, then make sure you book your ticket to the Gran Ballo Mascheranda using my link in the description below this video. Various ticket options are available, including costume hire. Reserve your ticket using the link below this video. Allora, eccoci qua. So there we have it. Everything you need to know about the history, traditions and masks and events of the Carnival of Venice. Are you coming to Venice for Carnival? Do you have any questions? Let me know in the comments below. For more details about the mask making workshop tour that I took, make sure that you check out the links that I've shared below this video. Are you planning your dream trip to Italy? Are you worried about being tongue-tied or ending up in a tourist trap? Don't be treated like a tourist, be an insider. Learn to speak Italian before your trip without months of frustrating study. Now you can learn Italian with my unique 80-20 method. Don't just plan your trip going from one place to the next. Instead, plan to create lifelong memories as you mingle with the locals, get local tips, avoid tourist traps, and make new friends. Join Intrepid Italian for travel and learn conversational Italian in as little as 2 weeks before your trip. Go from clueless to confident with my course, and I'll help you avoid tourist traps in Italy and make real connections with locals that will enrich your travels. Imagine what it would feel like to be able to introduce yourself when you arrive at your hotel, or getting a bargain at the market when you've asked for a discount, or asking a local for a restaurant recommendation and being able to understand street directions. You'll be able to do all of this and more. Register now for lifetime access so you can learn anywhere, anytime and on any device. For more details, click on the link in the description below this video. Ci vediamo lì. I'll see you there. In the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications so you get an alert when I post more videos like this one. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy language learning. Un abbraccio. Ciao!